Sir, I need to requisition some drip.
Excuse me?
Well, I need to look fly for the fine honeys out there, or else Ozeros will never pick me up and shake me.
What on earth are you asking?
Can I please have money for shoes, Father?
Yes, just stop calling me that at work.
Ladies, gentlemen, and monsters of all ages, there are a ton of people who follow the Monster Hunter series like it's their second job, either spending a ton of their time playing the games or just keeping up on everything that happens surrounding it. But especially as we have been sort of slowly building into the lead up for the release of a full new title that I personally am blind to everything after the initial release trailer for, you may have missed out on some news or information about the Monster Hunter series and other aspects of it going on, sort of in the background of that happening. So today we're going to talk about a number of fun collaborations that have been going on over the last year or so with Monster Hunter as a series that you may or may not have even been aware of, some of which I am incredibly jealous are just seemingly not available at all in the West, but there are a ton that are if you are interested in them. Starting off then with some of the more known things, then there were two pretty sizable collaborations outside of the direct gaming industry itself and more into the peripherals and actual component side of things, both related to the 20th anniversary event for the game being held essentially year-long at this stage, and the first of these is a Fatalis themed chair with Secret Lab. This thing looks absolutely beautiful. I know they previously did a Rathalos chair as well, which has been generally well received, and this one looks gorgeous, honestly. The scaled side paneling looks incredible, the actual designs both on the front and the back as well. Of course, however, this isn't me trying to sell you a product, so I should add on that while cool, this is expensive as hell compared to a more regular desk chair, and then it's also a gaming chair specifically, which are generally marked up for aesthetic reasons above other chairs that have similar materials and quality, and are generally also not great for your back if you're going to be sitting in it for more than a couple of hours a day too. So it's a really cool product, a great collaboration, but you know, you should know what you're getting into. The next major one then is a collaboration with MSI that has resulted in a whole lineup of cool designs, starting with a laptop with a really sick looking embossed Rathalos design, not overly vibrant, but sort of just a sleek and stealthier way of having an awesome bit of nerdy technology on you. There's also a Rathalos based graphics card, a 4060 Ti specifically, and while this one is cool, this is one of the things that to me personally feels maybe a bit excessive. As someone who essentially lives off of their home PC and is sitting beside me all day, most days, a custom designed graphics card is a bit of a step above what even I would consider a reasonable thing to do, even as cool as it looks. So just consider that this thing will be on the inside of your PC, not even the outside. Then there's also the motherboard in this lineup too, except personally I think the design on this is way cooler than the graphics card. Again, this will be inside of your PC, but this one should be a bit more visible if you have a see-through side panel on your case, a bit more clearly Monster Hunter, and a lot more space for the art to, to actually fit on. Then there's a monitor, which is actually just fantastic looking. I can't speak for the quality of the monitor itself, of course. I've never owned or used one of these myself, but the design on it is just awesome for any Monster Hunter fans out there. There's also the liquid cooling, which to me again seems a little bit excessive of a thing to brand Monster Hunter-ly, but then a couple more pretty big ones, a full PC case that you can get for whatever your PC is, and the design on this is again just really, really cool looking. 20th anniversary and Rathalos themed once again, and of course it's built in a specific way to display all of the other internal parts from earlier in this lineup if you happen to get them all together. Then the final part of this collaboration, a unique controller with a fun and stylish Rathalos patterning and even some red underglows while it's on too. Following that, we have a couple of Monster Hunter Now specific collaborations, the mobile game. There's one that I can't stick on too long because it's very copyrighted material, and it's a collaboration with a Japanese artist, Ayase, who wrote a song specifically about Monster Hunter Now with a full animated music video that goes along with it, and this can even play in the game during the event. It's really fun and upbeat, and it's definitely worth checking out for the music video if nothing else, for any Monster Hunter fans out there, I'd say. The other main one then is a bit more humble, a simple collaboration between Monster Hunter Now and, well, Monster Hunter Stories, because why not? This brought Navaru into the game for a couple of weeks back in June and July, and by completing the quest you could craft the hilariously accurate Navaru mask items, which is just really quite hilarious to me given how realistic they have tried to make the character models for the game, because the idea is that you're hunting the monsters from the series, but in real life, and then they just stuck in this unabashedly cartoony donut-shaped cat head you can wear on your real human-looking people, just on top of this because they could, and I love that so much. Then we have a couple more real-life product collaborations that are a bit more approachable to the average person than a full-on chair or laptop or PC parts, and the first one of these is a collaboration with Puma Japan, the shoe and clothing company. Puma is of course an extremely international brand. I wore their shoes myself when I was a 14-year-old with massive feet, and they were the only thing that I could actually find in my size without having to like custom order things online that I could not afford at the time. So I'm well acquainted with the brand, but unfortunately when I was 14, it wasn't 2024 and I wasn't in Japan, because some of these designs are absolutely sick, and seemingly this is a Japan-only collaboration. So if you want any of this stuff, you will have to find resellers willing to ship internationally. There's lots of cool clothing within this collection as well, some really nice shoes that are subtle enough to not get guffaws from people who dislike video games in public, but be immediately recognizable to anyone who does like Monster Hunter. And they're just really lovely, honestly. There's some nice tracksuits, some solid sport shirts, regular t-shirts, hoodies, quite a bit of a lineup here in general, and generally I am just a fan of pretty much all of it. None of it looks garish or overdone in any way, it's just really tasteful and fun. Then the next one is something that was announced just earlier this week, and it's another really cool one, which is a collaboration between Monster Hunter and Transformers, which honestly does make a lot of sense, but I do find it a bit funny because I believe it was just last year that Monster Hunter had a collaboration with Zoids, which is essentially the biggest direct competitor to Transformers that exists, but you know, I digress. This is awesome no matter what, and the main function of this is Rathalos Prime, which is obviously Optimus Prime, but he's a Rathalos. His robot form is a Rathalos flavored Optimus Prime. His normal truck form instead is a full-on Rathalos that he can transform into. It looks awesome, and as a fan of both franchises, this is really sick, honestly. Then one last final thing. This one is probably a bit less unknown just because it was announced literally at Tokyo Game Show very recently, but they had a full-on trailer for a collaboration with Fender, the guitar company, and they are releasing a proper Rathalos Telecaster. This isn't the first Monster Hunter instrument that I've seen out there, but it is perhaps the coolest one that I've seen, and I say that as someone who really loves guitars. Like, it was one of my greater passions when I was younger, and to put it simply, this is an awesome enough mix of quality instrument, of course, Fender's very well known, I love Telecasters, and a sick collaboration design as well, that if I wasn't certain this was going to be like a multi-$1,000 instrument, especially with shipping costs across the world, I would probably have already tried to buy this one myself. That pretty much does it for now then, everyone. Of course, with Monster Hunter Wilds coming out next year, there will be another surge of these collaborations, probably a much larger wave, especially with the collaborations actually coming into Wilds itself. But even in a year where the only new Monster Hunter release is a remaster of stories, I find it really fun just how active the series is with working with other entities, companies either within or out of the video gaming industry in their own ways, or even just artists to create things like a Monster Hunter music video. It's just really cool to see how much of a cultural thing Monster Hunter is around the world, especially in Japan of course, but even more so around the world in the last few years. It's not just a game, it's a lifestyle, and nothing proves it more than how deep some of these collaborations go. I hope you've all enjoyed this then, and of course let me know your own thoughts on any of this down in the comments below. Like if you liked the video, subscribe to the notification bell for more, and most importantly, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, stay sweet.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world our stage. Goodbye.